Lights in the fuel pump.
35 minutes after the captain put his plane into a holding pattern, a warning light tells the flight engineer that fuel is dangerously low.
That's about right. The feed pumps are starting to blink.
Fuel pump lights come on. This means that they're literally sucking air. As the fuel sloshes around in the tanks, this plane should have been headed for the airport soon.
But Captain McBroom still isn't ready to land.
To be in an airplane with that little fuel, it's something that, as a pilot, I've never been in that position, and I would be extraordinarily uncomfortable.
His reaction is puzzling.
Figure about another 15 minutes.
The flight engineer said, Captain, 15 minutes, that's going to run us kind of close on fuel out here.
Not enough. 15 minutes is really going to run us low on fuel here.
That was his one definitive statement to the captain that things were not right.
The captain wants more time to prepare for the emergency landing.
Call her in. Give him our passenger count. Tell him to give that to the fire department.
Instead of heading straight for the runway, he turns the plane into one last circle over Portland.
I kept thinking, why isn't this guy turning into the airport at this time?
The plane has been in a holding pattern for more than 40 minutes. It will take at least 15 more to land. But the aircraft has only 14 minutes worth of fuel. A crash landing is now inevitable.
The engines are flaming out. We're going down. We're not going to be able to make it to the airport.
Investigators now know that Captain McBroom received clear warnings about low fuel levels.
This didn't have to happen.
What they don't understand is why he ignored them.
This was not an act of God. This was not a massive mechanical failure. This was an airplane that was perfectly flyable, good night, within sight of the airport. This accident should never have happened.
How much fuel you got now?
The NTSB's Al Deal returns to the CVR looking for anything that might shed some light on the captain's state of mind.
When you listen to the tapes over and over again, you can detect things like voice inflections, subtle voice mannerisms that are trying to communicate to other members of the crew.
Deal is struck by an unusual aspect of McBroom's behavior in the cockpit.
How much fuel you got now?
His crewmates tried more than once to alert him to the fuel situation.
How much fuel we got now?
Four. 1,000 in each pounds.
Both the first officer and the second officer were acutely aware of the fuel status.
But McBroom is focusing on the broken landing gear.
You know, there's one check we missed. Checking the gear warning horn.
Right.
Right. So how do we do that?
Flying with a very senior captain, it would be very difficult to challenge that captain in those days about something like fuel.
The other crew members were trying to get this captain's attention, but he was apparently totally focused on the gear problem to the exclusion of all else.
Even after the engines begin to flame out, McBroom is still trying to fix the malfunctioning landing gear.
McBroom was not going to give up. He was going to find what we sometimes call the golden BB, the one thing that would answer the riddle as to why this light is not on. And of course, that never happened.
McBroom is determined to fix a mechanical problem that could threaten the plane's safety.
On the touchdown, if that gear folds or something.
As a result, he misses a far bigger and deadlier threat.
The gear problem is really a distraction for the crew. You had a small problem with a small potential consequence, gear collapsing on landing. But the captain was so focused on that, he lost the big picture.
Reset that circuit breaker momentarily, see if we get gear lights.
They lost sight of the real emergency, which was the lack of fuel.
Al Deal now understands how Captain McBroom's obsession with the malfunctioning landing gear led to disaster.
After this accident, the National Transportation Safety Board said flight crew members need to be better trained to communicate when they have safety of flight issues.
What happened aboard Flight 173 is, alarmingly, not an isolated case. Just a year earlier, another DC-8 crashed in almost identical circumstances.
It was a United crew, same kind of aircraft, gear unsafe flight, entered a holding pattern at night, flew around, troubleshooting the gear problem. They flew into a mountain and killed everybody aboard.
It was one of a string of deadly crashes during the 1970s involving a lack of communication. The list includes Eastern Airlines Flight 401, a Lockheed L-1011 bound for Miami.
Here, too, they had a gear unsafe flight. They ended up descending into the Everglades, crashing, and killed over 100 people.
The deadliest air disaster in history at Tenerife in the Canary Islands. It was caused by poor communication. The collision claimed 583 lives.
There was a pattern here where we're having the same types of accidents where other flight deck crew members were having a difficult time getting the captain's attention and making him do the right thing.
Al Deal is convinced that the way pilots communicate with each other is now a growing threat to commercial aviation.
A lot of people at NTSB and elsewhere thought we were going to be headed for a bloodbath if we didn't get a handle on the causes of human error.
His hopes rest on an experimental pilot training program developed by NASA that could help solve the growing problem in the cockpit. It's known as Cockpit Resource Management, or CRM. It's a system of training designed to improve the way pilots communicate.
It helps to improve crew coordination and improve collective decision-making on the cockpit. And the way it does that is it teaches captains to listen better, and it teaches the other members of the flight deck to be respectfully assertive.
In a move that will have a lasting impact on airline safety, the Federal Aviation Administration adopts Deal's CRM recommendation. From here on, the job of flying a commercial airliner will never be the same. United Airlines is one of the first to implement a CRM training program for its pilots. It's still in use today. United's Director of Flight Training Operations is Mark Champion.
The principles of crew resource management are that no one individual in the cockpit can possibly understand or see all of the threats that are out there. It requires the entire crew to really foresee and manage the various threats that happen to be in play when an airplane is in flight.
Today, United pilot Sherry Rutledge
Also, I'm having a hard time maintaining my speed here.
is undergoing CRM training.
The flight, and you continue with the airplane.
I got the airplane.
In this simulation, she and her captain are dealing with an emergency.
ECAM.
Engine oil low pressure. If oil pressure is less than 60 psi.
A mechanical problem has forced a shutdown of one of their two engines.
Idle, confirm thrust level. Engine 1 shutdown. Engine mode selector to ignition.
It's designed to mimic the situations that I will see in actual airplane flying. Yes. Oakland Center, United, 1916. We're declaring an emergency. We've had an engine failure at altitude. There are specific threats that we have to deal with as a crew, be able to communicate, plan, decision make through to a safe outcome.
So it's a problem-solving type of scenario, and you're very focused.
It doesn't look to me as though we've got a fire issue, though. We've shut it down quickly enough.
All the flight crew comes together, agrees on, yes, this is the way everything's appropriate, and then you go to the next step.
Yeah, pull the book out.
Okay.
Let's take a look at that.
It's very easy sometimes to know what your intention is and think that the people around you will also know what that intention is, but that's not usually the case.
And I'm going to go off and talk to dispatch to maintain flying the airplane. How are we doing on altitude?
They keep each other informed every step of the way, exactly as the exercise intends.
As well, I wanted to, ladies and gentlemen, your captain speaking. We're now in our descent into San Francisco.
The CRM training makes every difference in every flight. It has empowered me as a crew member and reminded me to speak up. We're getting a little close in here. To help with decisions, to maintain my situation awareness, and that, I think, is the most important part of it.
In the States, we've literally gone a decade without losing a single passenger at a major carrier accident. Many of the experts have concluded that that was at least partly due to CRM.
Had the crew of Flight 173 received such training,
Figure about another 15 minutes.
they might have expressed their concerns more forcefully, insisting Captain McBroom land immediately.
Not enough. 15 minutes is really going to run us low on fuel here.
Instead, they expected their captain to make the right decision.
Okay, declare Mayday.
Malburn McBroom was held responsible for the crash. He retired shortly afterwards. Flight 173 passenger Amy Connor met Captain McBroom in 1998, 6 years before his death.
The man that I saw at the reunion was very broken, and yet so willing to be there for us under whatever circumstances there were.
Call him ramp. Give my passenger count.
If I had had any anger toward him before the reunion, I sure didn't after I met him. I know that he truly believed he had more fuel on board than he did have.
Tell him to pass that on to the fire department.
I always said that pilot error is not an answer. It's only a symptom of some underlying problems.
Thing to remember is don't worry.
McBroom was flying under the cockpit culture of the time. This was an accident waiting to happen. They were a product of their times, and we have to judge those men by the environment they operated in.
You don't do that sort of thing on purpose.
We can't make it.
He was devastated. He lost his license. He lost his family. The rest of his life was just shattered.